This video is dedicated to Deja Shade. A huge shout out to Deja Shade for supporting the channel. Chainer Nightmare Adept versus Braids Conjurer Adept. That's a tricky one. We can get rid of an artifact with this on turn 2 if we need to. We've got some card drawing, Read the Bones, some lands. I'm actually going to keep that, as much as I'm not elated about it. They start things off with a Leyline of Anticipation, so not likely that we're going to be seeing many plays on their turn. We'll just get down the tap land and pass straight away. And already making use of the Leyline, going for Ponder at the end of our turn. Then again, passing the turn over, we've still got... yeah, we've just gotten into another land, so we can go for Read the Bones on turn 3 if we like. So I'm going to get down the Greaves here. And in response they go for their Sky Diamond, playing themselves a Ghost Quarter, so yeah, it might be that they can go in for their commander at the end of the turn. Let's go for a land into Read the Bones. Alright, and that's some good stuff to get rid of actually. Ogre Battle Driver, do we want... I want to get closer to mana really, so let's put both of these on the bottom. And we'll look at 2 new cards. Alright, had to clear a Damnation off before we got to the Wasteland, and even then the land situation isn't incredible. We'll pass like that. And there we go, Braids comes into play. We'll be able to get rid of that with the Shriekmaw if we like. Let's see what they can cheat into play here. A Stormtide Leviathan, Island Walk. All lands are islands in addition to their other types, and creatures without flying or island walk can't attack, which does include their own commander, but that's really in there to buy them some time, I think. They make another land. So why don't we play ourselves a Shriekmaw, and we'll actually get rid of the Stormtide Leviathan. Okay, getting into Arcane Signet, so I think I'm actually going to get the tap land down here. That might encourage them to go for the Ghost Quarter. And then we can go Arcane Signet. We can put Lightning Greaves onto the Shriekmaw. That does have fear, so we'll be able to get it through the Braids. And then we'll swing in. Do we want to go Ingot Chewer to take them down a mana? I think I might do that. Yeah, I think I will. We hit them for 3, obviously. Let's go for casting this with Evoke. And hopefully we can land our commander at some point and recast the Ingot Chewer if we need to. Get rid of the Sky Diamond. They didn't go for anything in response there. They've got 3 cards in hand still, so... alright, not going for anything. Just aiming to continue to cheat things out with their commander, I imagine. And this time it's Dreamstone Hedron, so I think we need to get down our commander next turn and recast the Ingot Chewer. We've got Squee Goblin Nabob, thankfully, so that is something that we can get rid of every turn to Chainer. Alright, going for Mystic Sanctuary, putting the Ponder back on top, and then hitting us for 2 with Braids. We'll just put Wasteland into play here, and then, okay, I was going to say, if we draw into a land, then we can still play one for the turn, but we haven't. So if we go... yeah, we can't go Chromatic Lantern into Chainer because then we won't be able to Ingot Chewer. So we'll just forego the Chromatic Lantern for now. See if we can land our Chainer, Nightmare Adept. That does manage to come down. Let's see. We'll just go for the discard first. Get rid of Squee because that will come back into our hand easily enough. And then we will cast the Ingot Chewer with the Evoke. Blue's going to have a really hard time ramping if they can't keep their artifacts in play. They don't have the mana to... oh, it's not 6 mana. I had it in my head that that was 6 mana to sacrifice. But they can sacrifice that in response if they want to. And that will draw them into some cards. Okay, using it for mana as opposed to card draw, so they've obviously got something to cast with the ley line. It is Platinum Empyrean, which means we won't be able to get Shriekmaw through anymore. We will be able to get rid of this with the Ingot Chewer next turn though, so not too worried about that currently. Let's put Lightning Greaves on Chainer to protect that. And then we'll have to leave it there. Probably going in for Chromatic Lantern into the Ingot Chewer again next turn. They've got one card left in hand. And if they want to swing in with that Platinum Empyrean, I'm more than happy to block it with the Shriekmaw. Now let's see what they've got. One card in hand. And is it something they can cheat in with their commander? It is not, apparently. Going for the Ponder again. And getting themselves into Blighted Cataract. Sacrifice it for 6 mana to draw 2 cards. They also get into a Cycling Land, Remote Isle, which they do cycle there. And deciding to scoop it up at that. That's a shame. That seems pretty anticlimactic, doesn't it? Let's see what we were drawing into. Alright, getting into Sheoldred. Yeah, maybe the thing to go for there was setting up Living Death. If we can discard Sheoldred, get out the Ingot Chewer, blow this up, swing in at them, probably would have held the Chainer back, but definitely would have discarded Sheoldred there, and then we can use the Living Death as a board wipe as well as a reanimation spell. This would have come back, but so would the Ingot Chewer, and we could have blown it up again. So, yeah, I'm quietly confident that we would have done well there had the game have gone on a few more turns. Having said that, let's see if we can get an actual game completed. Chainer Nightmare Adept, this time facing up against Azusa, Lost But Seeking. Yeah, we've got lands and ramps, so I'll just keep that one. No Mana Crypt, thankfully. Every time I run up against Azusa, I always run into Mana Crypt. Let's take advantage of the slow start and go for Bloodstained Mire. Just have to hope there's no Ancient Tomb on our opponent's side of the field. Arch of Araska, and they are putting Life from the Loam into the bin so that they can start dredging it out again next turn. We will just go for the Arcane Signet, I think. And then we're likely going in for our commander next turn. They get down their commander with no additional land drops, surprisingly. I'm wondering if we just go for Bedevil. Although they didn't make the additional land drops, like I said, so maybe they don't have them in hand. I'm going to risk going for our Chainer here. And then we'll swing in with Chainer because it does give itself haste when it comes in from the command zone. They dredge themselves into 3 lands there, and then Life from the Loam into the 3 lands. I've already got Dark Depths in play. Scorched Ruins as well. If it would enter the battlefield, sack 2 lands instead, it taps for 4 colourless mana. So thanks to a very good dredge from Life from the Loam, they are transforming the turn that they otherwise would have had. Let's go for... yeah, we'll get the Blood Crypt in. Then we're going to get the Lightning Skelemental in as well, and try and get some damage onto our opponent as well as forcing them to discard. They decide to get rid of Worldbreaker and Emrakul, the Promised End, so in typical Azusa fashion they're ramping into Eldrazi. This time, dredging the Ulamog, the Infinite Gaia, so shuffling those Eldrazi back into the library, as well as the lands that they might have wanted to grab with the Life from the Loam. And now Finale of Devastation, where X is 5, so maybe a Seedborn Muse or something like that here. At least we know it's not Primeval Titan. Okay, it's an Oracle of Muldiah for even more land drops, and they do have Sol Ring on top. Finally getting a reprint of this in Jumpstart. Alright, we get into another land. Let's go for a basic mountain with that. And then I think we discard the Rune-Scarred Demon in order to cast the Lightning Skelemental. And then again, with everything, we will swing in at our opponent. I might go for Bedevil in response to a block onto our commander, but they're not blocking like that anyway. So they'll be forced to discard another couple of cards here. And I think it might be worth Bedevil onto Azusa, because if they're swallowing up their mana, going for recasting Azusa, then yeah, I think I will go for that here. then it would be nice if we could get into some fast mana of our own, actually. A Mana Crypt would be nice. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger on top now. They obviously get straight into the Sol Ring. And into Vorinclex. What's it called? Voice of Hunger. Alright, another land. So let's play that. Yeah, I was going to say Kiki Jiki onto another Lightning Skelemental would be good. They do have 0 cards in hand because they've gone for discarding Life from the Loam and Titania. So they block both of these. We hit them for 6 potentially. Alright, they decide to just scoop it there. Not too confident that we would have necessarily had the game. What I probably would have gone for there is we can discard any card, can't we? Yeah. So probably discard Vandal Blast. Get either this or I think we could afford the Runescarred Demon actually, couldn't we? Yes, I think we could. So we probably go for that and then some kind of answer for Vorinclex or just hope that they don't have an answer for our Runescarred Demon. How much mana did they have? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So playing another land off the top. Oh, also they have double mana from the Vorinclex, so they could have cast Ulamog next turn. And that probably would have spelt the end for us, so yeah, not sure why they scooped there, because I'm not too sure that we had the win on them, but I'll take that. Hopefully you all enjoyed this return to Chainer, Nightmare Adept. Be sure to leave it a thumbs up and comment if you did like it. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.